Hello.
What's going on, folks?
Oh man, hey Dennis.
Hey, Jerald. What's going on?
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. That sounds so depressing. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. I'm not gonna cut myself.
Wow. Okay. I'm not gonna cut myself. Jesus. Crazy. Anyway.
Crazy.
So, we've just endured You've Got Mail.
Yes, we have.
And, that was an
It was
experience.
a film.
That was an experience.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this now.
Yeah, we are.
And I prepared. See,
You pre-watched it.
I watched. I said.
Yeah.
I literally said.
Yeah.
I do my homework.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch this because look, okay, for real. I was like, look, guys. You know, like last time, I was like, I'm watching this because I know, like everyone was watching, like, oh, we're gonna have little conversations, like, right. But the thing is, we're watching this because the thing after it, we actually have to know what happened,
right? You
not have conversation about Venture Brothers, and then go, oh, I missed 15 minutes of the movie. Yeah. So I was like, this time I was completely fine with it because I spent last night watching the whole thing and taking like 14 pages of notes. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I watched this movie twice. Yeah.
Did it get any better the second time around? No?
It's the same exact movie.
Okay.
No new nuance.
Oh. No step by step, day by day.
I mean, look, I saw a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
I saw a lot of things. Anyway, hey Dennis, what was You've Got Mail about?
Well, it was starring, let's see, Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan.
Yes.
Well, they're in relationships that they're both emotionally and kind of physically detached from.
All you have to say is like
I was gonna okay.
No, we're gonna go through the whole movie, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, look, it's two people who met online, and they're trying to form some kind of weird relationship. Look, what happened was, see, what happened is like people are lonely and want to get together, and it's 1998, so the internet was invented. Bam! That's all you need to know.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, let's kick this movie off good and righteous. Okay, so the beginning of this movie, and I know that you were in the pisser for part of this, but I want you to know that this is basically, again, the internet and computers were invented. It's 1998. It's the end of the 90s. The people are online. They get in those AOL discs, and they're surfing the web. And the beginning of this movie is a New York made out of CG animated New York, where they're flying in, and then they do that thing. And
I've seen part of that.
It's pretty much like the studio just wanking off, just like, look what we can do.
Which I guess were groundbreaking graphics at the time.
Nope. It's 1998, and Jurassic Park was 1993.
Oh yes, Jesus. So they were just like, whatever. If we don't want to spend that much money, it is a romantic comedy after all.
Wow.
Well, it's true.
Wow.
What studio put this out?
Does it matter?
No, but I'm just trying to think. Some studios are cheaper than others. So.
Okay. Anyway, so the beginning of this movie, the first thing we see, basically, after we slide into this woman's house, or brownstone, or wherever she was living, apartment.
I guess it was a brownstone.
No, because she's only on one floor. Well, I mean, it was a brownstone, but it's like,
multiple levels.
Look, to be honest, it could have been like, it's Living Single.
Yeah.
It's Living Single is all it is. Anyway, so like the first person we hear is like Greg Kinnear running in, and like, look, okay.
Yeah, he was getting prepared to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they just had a night where he was there.
Yeah.
Look, so Greg Kinnear, like, he enters this movie, and look, already I can tell him and Meg Ryan, there's look, she just wants out of the relationship.
Yeah, but she doesn't say
You could tell by the way she like lazily talks to him in the morning.
Yeah.
And not like in the relationship we've been here for years, but more like, leave, please.
You can get out now. I have things to do.
I'm done with you.
I don't need you to be around.
And then the moment the door shuts, she's like, oh, let me.
Yeah, she and here's the thing. She's scooping out to see how far he's out.
Is he gone yet?
Is he gone yet? Let me look at. Oh, yeah, he's walking down the stairs. Awesome. He's around the corner and he's gone. All right, cool.
All right, now I'm going to open this computer and talk to the person that I think I actually love.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah. But okay, so the first thing Frank talks about is like his like hatred of technology, basically, right? He's like, oh man, these tech people, they had to take all the Minesweeper and that game solitaire off people's computers because they're just doing no work.
Yeah.
And look,
which is, I don't think, an actual thing that actually happened ever, really.
Nobody plays that much solitaire.
Yeah, really. It's like, oh man, I was playing this game, I can't get any work done. Jeez, man. It's so interesting.
Look, all I'm saying is his feelings, like his emotions towards his hatred of technology.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's a deeper story there.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
It kind of pans up, but not really.
Nah, I just look. I don't know. It was 98. It was a long time ago, but I feel like he may have a story where it's like he fell in love with a machine and had some kind of sex with it, and then it broke his feelings and possibly broke his dick. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like it's a possibility. You don't feel like it's a possibility?
Yeah.
It was a lot of vitriol for, like, people playing Minesweeper.
Yeah. I'm
just saying.
He definitely had a deep concern with the fall of man. The pathway being technology.
See this? I don't know if you know this, but if you break a man's penis, everything's gone. The world.
It's this,
It's all over.
It's Mad Max, is what you're saying.
Because why else would you be here? You're just a war boy with some tumors.
Yeah.
You're doing the pyramid thing and you're throwing yourself off cars. That's what happens when they broke.
Himself and wearing masks and just starts shouting weird.
I think did we just say that this is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road?
Pretty much. That's how it starts.
Yeah, I feel that's plausible.
Because remember, this is pre-Y2K. So Y2K literally...
Which is a thing that apparently happened a few years from now. In the movie.
In the movie, yeah. So, it preempts, like, the Y2K happens, the war for oil, nuclear holocaust.
The war for water.
Yes.
The war for... What was the third war for?
I don't know.
Or what was the third movie about? Who cares? We're not talking about Mad Max.
It was water, right? Was it in the water, too? It was something about water.
It was whatever was in Bordertown.
Yeah. Was it water? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, okay, so the beginning of this movie, like, I love the beginning of this movie because it's one of those movies that doesn't understand its own point in a way.
Right.
It's just like, oh, well, our narrative is this thing. And then you go, what? You broke it. Okay, so... If you think about the entire movie, the whole thing, I mean, okay, technically the point of the movie is two people fall in love because it's a rom-com, so that's really what the whole... Beyond that, that's a given. Past that, what's the real point of this movie? Okay, small mom-and-pop shop, mom-and-pop crops. They get just destroyed by big business. Right. So Barnes & Noble or Fox & Books and stuffs totally shows up and kills, the little tiny corner store that holds all the books, right?
Yeah.
So technically, the main female lead of this movie would be against massive corporations.
Right.
And the other dude would be totally for massive corporations. And for some reason, both these people end up in a Starbucks in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the exact example of corporations run amok. Oh man. Gotta get that macchiato. I don't know. How do you order at Starbucks?
I don't know. I've never really done it.
I've been in a few.
Yeah, I've been in Starbucks before. I've never ordered anything because I'm not a coffee drinker. So.
Yeah, they have other things.
Yeah.
They have like snacks and treats, possibly sandwiches.
Yeah, but I don't know how you order coffee.
I don't know how you order anything.
Yeah, so if you order like a...
Do I get the brownie tall?
No.
Grande?
Grande.
Can you get a tall grande?
No. So how you order something small?
I think that's tall. I don't know. Why
is it tall or small?
I don't know. Grande? Stop asking me.
That's fucking weird.
Stop asking me like I know. Anyway. But okay. So before they start their morning routine of just going
right, getting their coffee
and going like, oh my god, Starbucks is so amazing, even though it's apparently crap coffee that is just the same, like McDonald's chicken nuggets. Are they delicious? No, but there's a lot of chemicals in it. It says it tastes the same no matter where I go, except for maybe Japan, because I'm pretty sure they put like some squid ink in it or something.
Yeah, they do.
Japan's weird.
So when you bite into it, it bleeds.
But okay, so here's the weird thing that I really kind of like about this rom-com is that these people are both kind of horrible.
Yeah, they really are.
Because they're just, because she waits till he gets out and then she sneaks around and opens the computer and talks to the man that she apparently has an emotional attachment to.
She knows she's definitely doing something wrong.
Right, because that's what happens when you sneak around.
Right.
But then he does the exact same thing. His significant
But he doesn't hide it, though. He just, he's off to the side, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna fuck. Yeah, I'll turn on your cappuccino machine.
Right, but in the very beginning, he did wait and she left. And then he was like, all right.
Oh, that
and
is
then he
true.
opened it up
that
and like,
true.
yeah, all
that
right.
Is true. He did stop in between when she was in the kitchen. It's like, oh, let me just put the screen down so you can't see what's going on. And it's like, okay,
yeah, you're over there. Okay,
you're over there.
Now
okay.
I'm gonna emotionally cheat on you.
It's almost like when you're doing something on the computer, say looking at porn, and then someone walks in, and you're like, oh, I'm not looking at porn. I'm just have my screen down like this. I'm just over here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And you're kind of stiff, don't move, just okay. And then they go away, and you're like, all right.
You're trying to position your body between the screen and them.
Yeah.
Not that I have experiences like this. Although, you know what I have been in? I have been in a college computer lab late at night, and you go, that guy's just looking at porn.
Dude, don't you have a computer of your own that you can look at, in your
No, he's
room?
in a computer lab in the dorm. No, he doesn't have a computer of his own.
And he, waits, he looks around, I'm still here, don't you dare jerk, don't you...
But the thing is, you're sitting in the back of the room, right, but behind you is nothing but a wall of windows.
And he's like, I see you. It's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. You can't see anything. I'm not doing anything.
Do not.
Don't you dare.
Do not have a jerk session right now, please. And then it's...
Your communal area, come down.
But as they're going on their morning walk, of course, just the cue that it's the 90s, the Cranberries.
Yes.
I got a
staple of the early... that was early 90s, but they still carried out to the late 90s.
Yeah, they were... I'm pretty sure they're probably still doing shows somewhere in Ireland.
They had a weird stint where the lead singer, who was the woman, don't know her name.
I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, I'm not going to look it up. But she had a stint with, mental health. So, she had she didn't do anything for a while.
I can see that by all of the music.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just non sequitur. I had a weird moment today because I was sitting there listening to music while editing a video. Because that's what I do on the weekends. Because I have to get it done. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was sitting there and I came across the song and I had this weird moment, and it kind of reminds me of this. Does this song belong in this movie? Is the thought that I'm having now? Because I was sitting there and I was listening to it was music on random that I own, and Just a Moment of Weakness by Biff Naked came on. Because I still like that song. It proves I'm old, but I like that song. But then I realized that was in the first episode of The West Wing. And I go, that does not make sense. But then I realized that the character playing it was the woman that they wrote out of the first season. So who really cares? Anyway, moving on. What happened next? So they get to their stores. Oh, and then we meet Meg Ryan's underling.
Oh, her. Kind of really had no point.
Christina? Okay, so here's the thing I wrote in my notes. Kathleen... Meg Ryan's. Right. Kathleen's underling, Christina, is the type of girl... Oh, God, I feel bad for reading this already. Is the type of girl that will end up drowning herself in a tub full of her own self-loathing.
Oh, yeah, I definitely could see that. She was always this Debbie Downer and had no point. In my opinion, she had no point.
She has to have employees.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought while watching this was, oh my God, she's the Charlie Brown of this movie. It's... the statement I wrote in my notes in her being Charlie Brown, that's just true, because come on, you don't see an adult Charlie Brown showing up face down in a tub, just ending it all. That's so...
Yeah, it's so dark.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's... Yeah. Anything else to add to this? Anything else?
I'm trying to think,
Because I can just go through all of...
Yeah, I'm trying to think, what's the guy's name? Was it Steven? Steve Zahn or like that, right?
That's his real name.
Yeah, I don't know his character's name. But was he like the Snoopy? Would you say he's the Snoopy to Charlie Brown?
Yeah, because he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's got long hair.
Yeah.
And sometimes he makes faces.
He doesn't have that weird fascination with like German culture. Circa.
Nah, that's so weird about Snoopy.
Yeah, I don't understand the Red Baron. Don't get it. I really don't get it.
I mean, I get that it's the Red Baron. I don't know why he loves him.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we'll kill some people.
But thanks to them, I now know that theme. Actually, I don't know where I know that from. I feel like it's Snoopy. Well, doing that, I don't know. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, okay. So there's this moment. This is another one I feel really bad for.
All right.
But I love it. So I'm going to read my note. So there's a part where Meg Ryan, because they're typing it to each other back and forth, and thankfully they just read it to us, because then it'd just be a whole bunch of movies where the whole movie is just us sitting there reading the movie and a whole bunch of silence, and that'd be really boring. Yeah, it would be. Because they'd be like, you didn't hold on the frame long enough. I didn't read that whole paragraph.
I missed that part. Go back.
Rewind it. Doesn't work. Anyway, so there's a moment where she's talking about, I don't remember. And she's like, oh yeah, I saw a butterfly in the subway.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And she stares, she has a look on her face as she watches this butterfly. Now, first off, she's in a subway. And I always feel like in the subway in New York, I feel like I'm going to get stabbed by someone at any point in time.
Yeah.
Even children and babies, I just don't trust them.
It's super warm. It smells of urine.
Oh, it smells of urine. If you're lucky, it's only urine.
Yeah. It's horrible.
But what I wrote was, Meg Ryan has a look on her face as she watches a butterfly that I can only describe as what Lenny Small would look like petting a rabbit. Literary reference, because they're books.
Yeah.
Books. Because Lenny.
Yeah, of Mice and Men, I got you.
Because Lenny was...
Yeah, the one who... Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she did that open mouth. She's like, ah.
It was really weird.
And if someone was running some way with her and just stared, it's like, what is wrong with this lady? She needs help.
Because she was out there she was sitting in a field full of butterflies.
Yeah.
But she's not in a field full of butterflies. She's in a subway full of urine and real gross people. Yeah. And commuters.
The guy next to her is just like, this bitch is high. She's so high.
Oh, high. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Oh, you thought I said hot?
Yeah, well, it's the subway, so it can go either way.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a lot of rapists control the subway.
They control the subway.
To be fair...
They have a monopoly of the subways.
To be fair, I feel like I got this feeling from Ghost.
Yes.
Because there's that scene in Ghost when he's in the subway and there's all those...
The dead ghost?
Right.
The guy...
Yes, the rapist.
Who taught him how to do things.
Yeah. And they're all just in there and he's fighting off the things and... Yeah, I feel like that's what...
That's their territory?
That's what
they just hang down there?
That's what subways are to me.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like all...
Tunnels. The rape tunnels.
This whole movie is like Upper East Side, upper crust people. But
yeah.
I just saying
it's the rape tunnels. Gotcha.
By the way, why was she in a subway? She lives 2 blocks from everything.
Yeah.
This entire movie takes place walking, except for that one shot where she's on the subway and where is she going? She's got no other friends.
They needed that scene because they said it's like, oh yeah, subways and butterflies.
That's because they wrote that. But seriously, she lives in a place where she can walk to the market. She goes to a market where they have all kinds of artisanal cheeses and wine and bread.
It's pretty much how Brooklyn is now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so there's that moment when they're thinking about closing the store, and the Charlie Brown is sitting there like, oh man, if we close the store, then I'll have to find another part-time job, and I won't be able to afford my apartment, and I'll have to move to Brooklyn, and I'm just sitting there going like, wait, you can afford an apartment in New York on part-time salary. Yeah. I hope to God she's saying that because she's got another job.
She has to.
I hope so.
Yeah. Unless Meg Ryan's character is really just shelling out money.
In which case, that's why you went out of business.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm just giving out money. Well, she was charging, that one book Tom Hanks' character was looking at was $78. Remember that? Come on. Yeah.
That's like a handcrafted hardcover book. Yeah. Go to the bookstore now and find a hardcover book with a dumb sleeve on it that's just mass produced, and it's like, this is $60.
Yeah, I guess we get spoiled since you shop on Amazon. It's like, oh well, I can get a book for how much? Oh, so cool.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt the industry at all.
No.
Napster was awesome. Actually, Napster was awesome.
It was awesome. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, but what it did.
Oh please. Okay, that whole Napster BS was. I get mad at Metallica. I was like, oh my god, we won't be able to afford this and that, and they're robbing us. I'm like, shut up. It was a couple songs, okay. And it was back in the day where an artist would put out an album. A couple
songs by you. Yeah. Millions of dollars. Look, to be fair, it's not your money. Look, okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where they bitch and moan. It's like, you're still getting paid. You'll still afford your mansions and your cars and everything else.
You know what? I don't really want to get into the music business right now because it's a very complicated issue. Look, I just want to get back to this world where, like, look, okay, when she said
the subways are controlled by rapists.
Well, there's that, but there's also the fact that she said that she met him in a chat room for like the over 30s, and I'm sitting there going, I love this world already because it's like, okay, so we have a Tom Hanks type,
right?
Who, by the way, has like an empire under his belt.
Yeah, but who
also is in a relationship. And a Meg Ryan type who clearly could care less about her relationship and is also cruising chat rooms. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like these people are looking for like a hardcore cyber bang sesh. But think about America's Sweetheart.
Right. She kept
Meg Ryan.
Yeah, gotcha.
She
was labeled that, yeah, I
she was called that. I don't know, like, we don't even have one of those anymore.
Yeah.
And then Tom Hanks, the kid from Big.
The kid from Big.
And look, dude, he got lucky in Big. That's really kind of messed up. That's
the thing like, that John Oliver pointed out. It was like, you're all sick for doing
because he's what, 10?
Yeah.
It's real weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like these two people are just sitting there getting ready for cyber sex.
Yeah.
Just going on chat rooms, just having like I love that. I love the idea of that. Because there's that one thing where it's like, these are like these people, no matter what they are, they're just real people, and sometimes they do real weird things outside of work. Like I was watching this video on YouTube today about this. It was porn stars read mean tweets.
Yes, I've actually seen those,
but I didn't see that. I saw a reaction video to it.
Oh, okay.
Because look, Dennis, there's a weird thing about the internet where they just have reaction videos where people just watch trailers,
and
then just make faces during it.
Oh my!
As they first time experience the trailer, and they get what you'd call millions of views. It's real depressing, almost depressing, so depressing that you go like, why don't I just do this?
Yeah,
like
the fact that we live in that age where people want to see the expressions of other people when they watch something. It's like, no, I want to experience secondhand, third hand. It's like, why?
But I totally get it.
Because I want to.
No, but I totally get it because. Well, why? I've always had this thing, but it's always like, okay, you watched a movie, you totally love this movie. Now it's like, dude, you go to your friends, like, dude, you gotta watch this movie, and then you watch the movie with them, and you're kind of looking at him because like, this is the part I love, this is the part I love.
And then when he doesn't get the reaction, you're like, what the fuck, man? It's like, what?
So this what you're saying is like watching a movie with Najee.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah, no, I've done that.
No, I'm good. Yeah, whatever. You're like, oh, I'm gonna hurt you.
But anyway,
you start getting into fights over things. Yeah.
But my point was, they're watching this thing, and after the guy was watching it, reacting to it, I was like, oh yeah, like every time I met somebody in the porn industry, I assume he lives in LA, so I'm assuming this happens a lot.
Right.
It's like they're just like regular people. It's like, yes, it's like regular people.
Yeah, because they are regular people.
They're actual people.
Yeah, I was like, I don't get this. You're just like a regular person. Yes. He has a heart, lung, and kidneys. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And
a brain,
and loves
blood.
Vacations.
Yeah. Has to eat. Has to use the restroom.
Thank you for taking the high road on that one. So where was I? Where was I?
You're talking about meeting each other online and wanting to bang out session. And
that's just true.
Yeah.
Why else did they go to chat rooms in the 90s except for to get real weird?
Yeah, I was trying to find, love. Yeah, love in all the wrong places. Looking for love in all the wrong places.
Okay, so there's a moment in here where it's real obnoxious because like this one part where it's like, okay, so it's again giant corporation versus tiny like specialty store,
right?
Because it's also this is a store mostly geared towards children.
Yes, it is.
So it's always like, screw the kids. Get out of here! I don't care about you.
It's like, yeah, well, this, we got a kids section.
But the fact that this is also just so closely tied to Starbucks is real annoying. And there's that moment where where Tom Hanks' character, whose name I forgot, Joe.
Was it Joe Fox?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. It's that weird name.
But he describes like why people order the way they do at Starbucks. It's like, oh, people who can't make decisions just go to Starbucks. By the way, this felt like a weird slight against Meg Ryan's character because he's saying this litany of things about how like people who can't decide things go to Starbucks so they can say the things they want, like, and they feel like some sense of accomplishment because now they've ordered a thing.
Right.
But it's you're just getting the same thing. You're not going to say grande instead of tall. You're just going to say the thing you usually get. Which isn't really a decision. Doesn't matter. But the point is, he says this thing about decision-making as she's ordering a coffee and getting her coffee and staring off into space somewhere. I don't really know why. Probably looking at them, they put the real thick foam on something. Look, Starbucks is it was the worst.
It's like a rant on Starbucks and how it's just terrible.
It is terrible. It's just...
I personally don't care. I mean, honestly, most people, like... If you're pretentious and you want that, oh, I feel special, you go to Starbucks. But if you just want a cup of coffee, like people go to Wawa, they go to Quick Check, they go to freaking Dunkin' Donuts, they go to McDonald's. It's like, who cares nowadays? They're just like, I want a cup of coffee.
Yeah, they have that McCafe.
Yeah. And doesn't Burger King have its little version of McCafe?
I have no idea.
I think they all have.
Look, to be fair, the only reason why I know this about McDonald's is because they have chicken nuggets. That's it.
Yeah.
I had to go there, and you stand there, you look at the dumb logo they have, and you're like, oh, you got like artisanal coffee now at McDonald's?
Yeah,
you mean it's just crap coffee?
All they do is like they just brew coffee. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never actually had a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the smell. I know, it makes me a garbage human being. But, not unlike the people...
I don't like the taste.
I never got that far.
Yeah.
I didn't do it.
But here's the thing. Coffee ice cream, not that bad. Or coffee cake, not that bad.
I also agree with you.
Yeah, I don't need it all the time, but it's not bad.
You shouldn't eat cake all the time because it's bad for you. You also shouldn't go to Friendly's all the time, but people do. Even in the winter when it's really, really cold outside.
Sitting there waiting outside. Yeah, can I get a, yeah.
No, you just go inside and order. Don't be dumb. Anyway, so my question is, like, do you think Starbucks actually paid for that? Do you think, like, 1998 was a time when they actually started paying for, like,
I don't know.
Hey, why don't you put our stuff in there?
I think it was, they probably did it for free, because it's like, oh, no, we'll get, like, press, whatever.
I don't know. I want them to have paid for it so that he basically just said that everyone who goes there is a garbage person. Can't make decisions.
They paid for that, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, I literally can't tell if it's being picked up on the thing.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't have headphones on. Because this isn't the old days. Because I've just given up on being, like, I don't know, professional?
That's the
Nobody gets their own mic anymore. We're just putting an N4 on the table. If it's good enough for Nerdist, it's good enough for you. Shut up and deal with it. Booyah.
You just dropped the mic on you bitches.
I did drop that mic. Oh, that hard mic.
Robot penis.
Okay. So, this is gross.
Okay.
But let's talk about it. So there's this thing about snot in this movie, right? Okay, to me
Oh,
anyway.
the handkerchiefs.
It's not just a handkerchief. Because you think it's just a handkerchief, and it's like, oh, look, a small child sneezed. And then Meg Ryan pulled out a handkerchief that, like, she had since, I don't know, like, passed down through generations or something.
It's my family's handkerchief.
And she hands it to this little girl, and the girl wipes her nose off, because that's what you do with handkerchiefs, because handkerchiefs are real gross. And she hands it back to her. And she takes it and, like, puts it in her pocket kind of thing. Again, this is why handkerchiefs are gross.
Yeah,
gross, real
really
gross.
Is.
But that's just the beginning, because if you think about it, okay, so later in the movie when she's talking to Tom Hanks on the intercom thing, she does not cover her mouth when she sneezes.
Oh, yes. When she's sick.
Or, like, cover her nose when she sneezes. Like normal people would do. She sneezes directly onto the wall with all the volume and force she can.
It's like, oh my god.
And then when he schemes his way up there,
she's
got tissues on literally every surface.
Yeah, and she starts grabbing him because she's like self-conscious and starts stuffing him in her pockets. Like, okay.
Again, well, honestly, I think that was just like conditioned response. Like, oh my god, I have these things. Oh, it's covered in snot. Let me put them in my pockets because that's where I put the snot-covered hankies that I have in my pockets.
It's gross.
It's just, I look. I'm thinking. Okay, so look. They had this whole thing about, them being in this weird pseudo-relationship online where they just know personal details. Mm-hmm. And I feel like one of the personal details that would come out is, like, she's really into, like, mucus and snot. Like one of those really weird fetishes.
That is a weird fetish. I've never heard anyone say, I'm into mucus.
Yeah, except
there's no mucus porn. Oh god, there probably is. There probably is. Oh god, I thought about that. There probably is.
They're really. I don't know this for sure because I'm just refusing.
Don't look it up. Don't.
I refuse to.
Oh god, it's terrible.
Remember how I said that people will probably have a thing for blood porn? I also refuse to look that up.
Yeah, there probably is.
Will not look that up.
There probably is.
I just no.
For everything you can think of, there's something for it, and all the stuff you can't think of, there's something for it.
There's a guy, or at least, or a girl, or another girl. Either way, there's only the one cup.
Terrible. Exploitation.
Yeah. So yeah, but basically, look. I just think she's got some. I just think they both have some weird things going on. It's like some weird, like hers is clearly she got a thing for Snot. I don't know what his is. What do you think? What do you think his weird fetish is?
His weird thing is, being mean, being dominant. He gets off on it. But he's not super dominant to the point like
you think
50
it's like
Shades of Grey. Like he's not that.
Okay, but you think it's somehow a sexual thing too.
He's like, yeah.
Like he's one of those guys like he's one of those guys like I like choking.
I just like to piss off people. Like,
I'm gonna
do? I'm gonna take all the caviar because that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, is pissing you off? Yeah.
Yeah, you like that.
You like that, don't you? I know I'm liking it. I
think he also likes choking.
Maybe he does.
I think that's an image that I want to leave people with. I want to leave like
Tom
Meg
Hanks
Ryan.
Someone out?
No, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks in the '90s, totally having a hardcore bang sesh where he's seriously just wraps his hands around her throat.
He doesn't use the belt. He's like,
that's a little too far. That's a little too aggressive, man. Like, you want to do that to like what? What's her name? Oh God, what's her name?
I can't help you. I don't know.
Oh man. There's jeezy crazy. I can't remember her name, but she's an actual shows wears turtlenecks is like the thing. She likes to wear turtlenecks because she's an older lady and have older lady neck.
Not Diane, no.
Keaton.
Diane Keaton. Yes.
So yeah, you can get aggressive with Diane Keaton because she'll put a scarf on and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like I'll just cover it up. It's all right. No one will know.
So like, okay, so after she gets this advice, after she's like, oh my God, this guy is really piss me off, and I can't deal with it. After they meet, for the actual meet, like now she knows his actual last name and how he's a horrible human being and trying to take her out of business.
Right.
She asks him how to deal with this. And he's like, go to war, man. First off, I do not have a thing for the Godfather. I don't get it.
Yeah. I haven't seen that film in ages, so I don't remember anything. Like the second one, the first half of it was mostly about how his father came to America and all like the build up to it. And then the third one was like the least favorite.
The one everyone hates.
Yeah,
it's a real Jedi.
Yeah. So
it's a real yub nub song.
I find that it's a certain group of people, certain section of the population that just really in love with those films or in gangster films. Period. And they're usually older white men from a certain generation. It's just like they love it. It's like, oh, The Godfather. It's like, it's all right, man.
Yeah. So the point is, she gets
Goodfellas. Like, oh, Goodfellas. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, she gets this advice.
Yeah.
To just go to war. Go to the mattresses, which is again an illusion I don't understand.
Yeah, they really didn't explain what that means.
They didn't.
Yeah, they really didn't. It's like, okay, I thought they were going to explain it. It's like, oh, for those who haven't watched it.
No, it's just this is The Godfather.
Yeah. Because the writers didn't understand it either.
Yeah. We'll get to the writers later. I don't know anything about them. I didn't look it up, but I have some thoughts about the writers. But okay, so look, she gets this message basically go to war,
right?
And he's basically bringing the war upon himself, which is not really war. It's more like like an ant trying to take on the Green Giant. But basically, she's sitting there. She's called this people, this press and stuff like that. She's got people picketing, and she's like really going to town in the in the children's section in the back of the store. Stretching out, shadow boxing, and okay,
right.
I just have a thought. Like if you saw a woman shadow boxing in the middle of a children's bookstore, first off, is that a sex crime? Like, do we need to call Elliot Stabler? Do we need to get a really real hardcore stapler?
He just puts it on her.
Put the chokehold on her, just drop it to the floor.
Like, bring it to the ground. Shh. Stop fighting. Stop resisting. Yeah.
But like, I feel like you should call someone for that.
No, because if that was really going on, they'd be like, okay.
No, because there's a crazy woman swinging her arms wildly in the children's sections like she owns the place.
Yeah.
She's and then the cops come in and he's like, oh, we've talked to her, and like, are you gonna do something about this? Like, oh no, you don't understand. She's going to the mattresses. What are you?
No, that would be the thing. You're like, okay, ma'am, you need to cut it. It's like, I own this place. It's like, yeah, but you're putting people's lives in danger.
She's just swinging. It's not lives in danger. She's not sitting there waving a gun around. Oh no, she's walking around like she's sitting there walking around with a Tommy gun in the middle of the store. Okay, I get it. She's
Tommy gun, Jesus.
It's gangster, man. It's real gangster.
Yeah.
It's real gangster. Gangsta? Racial divides. Anyway, speaking of racial divides or racism, racial stuff. Yeah. Race. Talking about look, he's got a black friend.
Yes.
And to be fair, I was kind of hoping Dave Chappelle was the magical Negro character type, but it turns out he's just the normal old.
He's just human.
Just a black friend who gets paid to be there. Really, he's just getting paid to be there because it's like, oh yeah, you're my employer and my best friend.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. I don't really understand the relationship.
It's almost like in all his other films where the main character or one of the main characters is a total asshole to most of the people around him. So the guy he pays. So, that works for him, that he also pays, also happens to be his best friend because he's the only one that'll actually be around him because he's actually be paid to be around him. So he actually becomes a friend too. But
so you're saying Stockholm Syndrome friendships?
Yes. Because they have this relationship before in other movies. Where it's like, oh, the guy happens to be a horrible boss, but the one guy that happens to be his friend, or one girl or guy that happens to be his friend. Oh man,
he's a total dick.
Yeah.
But he's got a heart of gold.
Yeah, so he's like, oh no, he's not that bad of a guy. Even though he makes me do all this crazy shit, and I kind of hate him sometimes, and I wish he would just die sometimes. But at the end of the day, he's a real good guy.
He writes his name on that check every week. I like that check.
Plus, it's like I get free stuff when I'm around him. He's got money.
But he like drags them everywhere. They're like, okay, let's go to the gym. Okay, that's weird. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's like, okay, so they work in the beginning. They're at work. They're at work. So you're like, okay, they're at work.
Pretty much, and he's his go-to guy too because he knows everything and tells them everything.
Then he drags them. He drags them to the gym. They hang out at the gym, or maybe that's just at their corporate office. Who knows? Right. But then he also like, hey, I gotta go on this blind date with this girl.
I need you to come with me.
I need you to come with me.
You're my emotional support. I was like,
and check her out, whatever. And you sit there and you go like,
goddamn baby.
Why am I here? Yeah. Like, why is he here?
Because he needs him.
It's pretty much just like
crutch.
But it's also like, well, we need to have a black friend.
Yeah.
He's here for how long? He has friends too, because he doesn't have anyone other than his grandfather and his father in the movie, and his and his girlfriend, which he still has not broken up with, although he's going on this blind date.
Yeah, she was totally selfish too. That's why they broke up.
Oh, they should have broken up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're horrible, and
I don't really have any feelings for you. Oh, what?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, on this blind date, I gotta get to the other part too. But on this blind date, they're sitting there and they're at this blind date, but they're not on the blind date because he won't reveal that he's him.
No, because he knows, but she doesn't know,
and she doesn't know anything yet. But it's where the movie starts to get unfair. But it really does. But you sit there and you go like, oh my god, this is like, it's just bitter insult after withering comment.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you go like, I mean, okay, let me put it this way. When I watched this movie last night, I was sitting there going, now I know it's not going to end this way because it's a rom-com, and that's not how movies that are romantic comedies go.
Pretty much.
At least not before, like, Something About Mary. But I felt like the next scene was going to just have them have a lot of hate sex. I feel like it's like, oh, I hate you, and then normally they would cut to them in the bathroom disrobing each other and just going at it. Yeah. But
this is PG, so that didn't happen.
It's a PG movie from 1998 and starring Meg Ryan, America's sweetheart. Yeah. I keep saying it every time. And Tom Hanks, the kid from Big.
Yeah.
and everybody loved Big. But yeah, God, it was. Where am I in my notes? Where is my next note?
You did Dave Chappelle, now we're on the date, and...
No, it's just, okay, so, but, like, we got this point. This is, like, halfway through the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, at the midpoint. And all I keep thinking is, because they're still in the relationships, it's like, in this movie, are we still, like, really rooting for them to have extra, like, adulterous affairs?
Yeah, it feels really wrong.
Because if you think about it, it's like, oh, because we don't really think about the other people, because they're not right for each other. It's like, yes, but they're
still in a relationship.
They're in a relationship. They haven't kicked them out yet. One of them lives with the... like, Tom Hanks and his girlfriend live together.
Right.
That's why when they eventually break up, he leaves to his boat. And then she just like, hey, it's just go. It's pretty much how he leaves, moves out the other guy, the Greg Kinnear character. He doesn't really...
Yeah, they was like, oh, come to terms really quick.
That was, like, by the way, the easiest breakup that will ever exist.
I'm not emotionally involved. You're not emotionally involved. We don't love each other at all. Awesome. Let's bounce. Okay.
It's
you
really,
go your way, I go my way. Cool.
Yeah, like, we're totally cool with this now? Oh, okay. Now,
that's just for the audience's sake, so you can be like, okay, you can go together now. You and Tom.
But not only that, cool. But then it got real weird, because, like, within the same conversations, like, you seeing someone? Like, what? Whoa! And he's like, kinda. And then they reach back to that interview that he had on TV, and he's like, is it the woman from TV? And he's like, well, maybe something happening here, you know? I mean, you know, where there's sparks, there's fire and smoke and stuff and whatnot, and we're totally gonna do things to each other. And then I kept thinking, I don't know, because you asked me a real superficial question last time, and this one feels... way less gross. So there's, of the two women, the woman on the news and America's Sweetheart, which one would you pick? Bear in mind, you may be labeled a terrorist if you pick the wrong one.
Jesus, okay.
Because you're against
I don't really remember the woman who was the news anchor, so I'm going to go with Meg Ryan.
You don't well,
not really.
Really?
She really popped out. She wasn't like, oh.
You know why? It's because I watched this movie and I was like, her? Like, of the two of them, you're gonna pick the not Meg Ryan?
Yeah, was she that bad?
No, I mean, it's not like I'm saying she's like a hideous troll or something like that. But
no,
I mean,
but Meg Ryan, you're saying Meg Ryan's better.
I mean, it's America's Sweetheart, Dennis.
You keep on saying that. Oh, God.
It's just, I mean, I keep saying it because it's true.
Yeah, American Sweetheart.
They told me it on television and the internet
throughout the 90s.
In the 90s, on the internet. Yeah. Of course, it's true. It wasn't easy to get bandwidth back then, and they committed it to type on the internet.
Oh, God. Websites looked like shit back in the day.
Oh, man, you got the GeoCities. But yeah, they had...
Oh, my God. What's really bad... If there's still websites that look like they were made back in the 90s.
There really are websites that look like that. I've been on a few of them. They're horrible.
Oh, my God. Like, get your game together. What the hell's going on? It's like, oh, we don't have no money. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they can't afford, what's the name of that? Squarespace. They can't afford that Squarespace.
Yeah, I was going to say. Like,
which, by the way, you know, hey, if Squarespace wants to be a sponsor, that'd be totally cool. I'm not shilling, though. I'm just saying that if they want to pay me.
Yeah, like good foot, man.
That'd be nice. And I will tell anybody to buy the thing that you want me to tell them to buy them. Because I have... zero self-respect. Anyway, so back to this movie, in their amicable breakup, which is the most amicable breakup in history. And then you cut to the plot device convenience of, oh, I'm in a broken elevator for an hour with my girlfriend, and it turns out that I don't want to be in a small room.
That experience made me realize that I don't need to be able to...
Or as I wrote it, Bitchy Girlfriend is bitchy and was bitchy the whole time, and now, all of a sudden, I hate her.
Because she's in the elevator later, it's like, oh.
But she was always like that.
Yeah, no.
She was like that at the party when she's like, get me a drink.
Yeah.
She was always like that. But now it's like, I can't deal with her. Which is kind of funny. But it's basically because, like, oh, I found out that I love someone else. I want to see their breakup, though. Because clearly the most amicable breakup in history was Meg Ryan and Greg Kinnear with like, oh, I'm into someone else. Oh, me too. And then, I don't know what her emotional involvement was.
I feel she would be, since we're on this bitchy kick, she would be a bitch. just for the sake of it. Not because she's emotionally like, oh, I'm hurt by this. She's like, just because it's her nature.
So what you're saying is that he didn't leave the apartment on good terms?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like he was like, oh, but I pay her the rent.
Yeah.
And she's like, get out.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah,
because even though Tom Hanks is like he's kind of mean. He's not super mean to the point like he would crush her and make her get out. He's like he'd just like whatever. I'm leaving. I got a houseboat, or well, not really a houseboat. I just got a boat.
It's a boat.
It's a boat that has a bed or whatever that he's sleeping on.
Yes, I mean it's a boat. It has a it's a boat. If you go sailing out there, you gotta sleep somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So then we deal with that, and he slinks onto the boat, and Meg Ryan closes her family store.
Yeah.
The saddest and yet also most psychedelic moment in the movie.
Yeah, because she just has like flashes of her mom and her dancing when
and
in black and white, by the way.
And it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And you're like, is this really happening? And then she takes the bell off the thing and does the saddest Santa walk down the street. Just as the bell rings, it just seems like she just it's putting a little bucket out, a little red bucket, on a little tripod thing, that hangs down in the middle, just collecting for the Salvation Army. Yeah. And if she's doing that, by the way, and this is kind of messed up because sometimes those Santas have problems, and I once worked at a store where there was one outside. He was drinking Scope because he has an alcoholism problem, but he can't actually drink alcohol.
Real talk.
So he's just downing a large bottle of Scope.
That stuff is terrible.
But he had a problem.
Yeah, so now I'll drink this instead. It's like, it's terrible.
But yeah, so
that's rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, it's the wrong kind of alcohol.
Yeah. Oh God, this is terrible.
But yeah, it was like this really sad walk down the street, and I'm just like, this is a rom-com, right? We're supposed to like be happy. Like this woman lost her business. She's now unemployed.
It was a very weird rom-com, I have to say, overall.
She kind of like Tom Hanks comes in, gets like 5 people fired and a business shut down, and I'm sure Republicans would be like, yeah,
big business.
Why did I go politics? I got so far.
It's an election year.
47 minutes.
As you said last time, it's election year.
I gotta go freaking politics.
But yeah,
it's just so weird. But yeah, no, this is like kind of a happy ending where it's like, oh yeah, we should start writing children's books now. It's like, right, but her mom's store is still gone. And he could just like open. He could just like say, I'm gonna open that store and take it at a loss because I enjoy this woman's company. Nope, not doing it. Crush your business. We're going to turn that into a Five Guys. Maybe a Starbucks. I know it's right down the street from a Starbucks.
I know.
I know. But
so you have 2 options, right? Right.
Like, why would you want to walk an extra block?
Yeah.
Or just one block?
And those are city blocks, too.
But like the narrow ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, So, okay, this is where the movie gets weird. Cause, okay, so now he knows that she's the
woman he talks to online,
shop girl,
right?
And she has no idea.
She's still in the dark.
She has no job.
Right.
She's ill.
Right.
And all this other stuff, and he hangs out with her, and then. Okay. And then he basically becomes a supervillain. If you think about the last quarter of that movie, he's just a supervillain.
Yeah, because he's setting her up.
Because he's like, he's like, I'm gonna make her love me.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna make her love me. So I'm gonna hang out with her all the time. I'm gonna keep showing up at her. At where she is, I'm gonna go to her house.
This guy you talk to online, you should really get with him.
And then
you really should get with him.
And then I'm gonna plant these seeds to how she should keep talking to this guy that she knows online, and force it, and like, hey, you should meet him, and then like bad talking him while I'm there, and like, so she'll have to be forced to defend him, I guess. Yeah. I don't really know what that was about. It's just, but he's like, and I don't know. It's just so weird. And at the end. He's like, okay, I'm going to write her a thing. as this dude and say, meet me in the park at whatever time. And then as myself, as the man she's been hanging out with for a couple weeks and or months. I don't know the timetable. It's all over the place because it clearly started in winter in New York, in which there was never any snow. And we went through Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then she's standing in like a spring dress at the end.
Yeah, they kind of just pushed that along.
There's like flowers everywhere. This courtship took months. Anyway, he gets there. He has this big reveal. It's like, oh yeah, it was me the whole time. And what does she say, Dennis? What does she say to him after he finds out that he's been lying? She finds out he's been lying to her about this whole thing and how he knew who she was, and he went with the whole thing and basically manipulated her into loving him. What does she say? I'm sure you might have missed it.
I might have missed it. I think I did miss it. I did miss it. What am I talking about?
Yes.
She's kind of accepts it.
She says, I was hoping it was you the whole time. At the end, she's like, I was hoping it was you. Not the whole time, just at the part where some guy comes up.
Really, when the dog ran around the corner and he comes up and he's calling the dog's name in the park?
Yeah, no. When she's standing, when he basically is standing in front of each other right before that kiss, she says, I was hoping it was you, kind of thing.
Really?
Yes. And in real life, you go, you are a psychopath, you are a crazy person, I'm calling the police.
Well, there's a lot of things that hopefully she would catch in real life. They'd be like, okay, no. Like, no. You're playing me. Like, but
yeah, you mean like the part when he goes to her apartment and tucks her into bed, which, by the way, was really weird. And then he says, oh, my favorite time in New York is the springtime, which is the thing that he said to her in the beginning of the movie.
Which
I thought she reiterated.
Which I thought she caught then. It was like,
yeah.
Like, oh my god, what have I got myself into?
But she didn't.
No.
But she didn't.
Because it's a movie. Because that's how these movies play out.
Yeah, it's
and that's why I really hate rom-coms, because it's like all the obvious shit is like, no, whatever, we're just gonna, like, it's all happy.
That's why I love them, because it's super stupid. And you're like, why did you
all is forgiven. Like, whatever happened and all that bad shit that went down, whatever. We're together now.
Like, he's just a
and I guess I'm just going to live off you now because you are a millionaire.
I'm just going to write books and just suck off your money.
Yeah.
But like, okay, I'm just saying, like, he's a crazy person, okay? He is a crazy person because he thought, oh, I could just tell her.
He's a man on a paratrip. Yeah.
I could just tell her, but nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to work my way into her heart and then lie to her on the other end of it.
Because I have to manipulate her. Why? Because that's how I get off.
I'm just saying, if a normal person would do this, he would be called a stalker.
Yeah.
But seriously, in this moment, like, when did he plan all of this? When did he come up with this whole plan of, like, I'm going to do all of these things to make her love me?
In between the parts we didn't see, that's all him plotting.
But this is grand level, this is grandmaster level manipulation.
You know that, like, that map that Deadpool had out of all the people he's going to kill?
Yeah.
That's the level of...
I'm just saying, this bizo right here...
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm a little jelly. I'm kind of right. I mean, because if you could do this in real life, like, oh, I like that girl a lot. Oh, and she doesn't really like me.
It's super wrong, but yeah.
And then you just kind of like, look, we live in a world where, like, our grandparents got to know each other when they're like, oh, he's like 20 and she's like 12, and the guy can go up to her and is like, one of these days I want to marry you, and then he does.
Creepy.
Or okay,
so
which
creepy,
may or may not be true. And may or may not be a family member who did that, of mine. But if you remember the end, the Christmas special of Doctor Who, the guy from World War II, the one where they're in the line, the witch in the wardrobe thing,
right.
Not what it's called, but you know that.
Yeah.
And the end, like they tell the whole the way the parents met, and he's like, yeah, well, she worked at a diner, he'd come in every day, and then he'd follow her home, not walk with her.
Yeah, which is stalkerish.
Follow her.
Stalkerish. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
It's one of those moments where you're like, it's so strange. Like, when women didn't have power, men just had it so easy.
Wow.
This is a wrong statement, I know, but I'm just, if you think about that,
I get what you're saying.
Because it's like, oh, what's she gonna do? Like, oh, I don't really want your advances. I'm a woman. I could do whatever I want. I could, I'm an entire person unto myself. I have voting rights and everything. And they're like, yeah, I don't really. I just want, like, I just fancy you, so I'm just gonna follow you. Like, yeah, that's weird. Like, I think that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
But now you do something like, hey, I ran into you, like, hey, what's up? And you're like, are you following me? I can't deal with this.
That's why finding someone nowadays is very, very strange.
It's got real.
It got difficult. It's not difficult. It's just very strange interactions with people. Because, like, people have very, very high expectations. And you're like, why do you have these high expectations? Oh, because of fucking films like
Swear to God, if you say Brad Pitt, I'm going to throw something at you.
No,
it's just your go-to. It's just your go-to
dude.
I
know, it's my go-to.
And you got to realize that he is like an octogenarian at this point.
Yeah. But, because of movies like this, and they just have high expectations for themselves, and they feel they deserve this and that.
I got one more observation.
Go ahead.
So at the end of this movie, when he does the big reveal, I had a thought, and it was really weird. But it's the only thing I can think at the moment. When he's standing there looking at her and he's like, I am a supervillain. But he didn't say that.
Yeah.
All I could think was, he's got the most villainous hairline in this movie. It's his real hairline, but it's some real Norman Osborn hair.
Yes.
It's got that, like, the big side piece, like, the little peninsula hanging out the top. And I'm like, oh my God, he looks like Norman Osborn.
Yeah. All he needs is the freaking lines to his hair. That hair pattern's always weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
It makes sense. I saw it on like Spider-Man in the 90s in the comic book, and you see it and then you see it moving in the cartoon show, and like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they part black? Are they trying to secretly? Are they part black and they don't know they have waves? Like,
wow. But then to take it into an even like more. Not this movie, but still the 90s area. Is Lisa Maz's hair really blue?
Oh.
Because, why is her hair blue? Her highlights are blue.
It's supposed to be black, but it's blue. Same thing they did with Wolverine, too, in the early 90s cartoon, rather.
Yeah. They just didn't understand the
it's like, it's black, but it's blue.
Of gray.
Yeah.
Or brown.
Yeah.
Like a dark brown. Like hair color. Like real hair.
Like, we want it black, but let's make it blue. It's like, what? No.
Anyway, so I just assume that after this movie, like at the end of this movie, when he's like, "I'm a supervillain, ha 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 ha," and I made you love me, ha ha ha, because that's how it played out in my head. Right. And then they kiss because she's in love now. Because it's
like, you're a horrible human being, but I'm in love with you.
So I just assume. So like at the end of it, I'm just assuming. So now they had the hate sex.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like. And then he's like choking her out, and she's like sneezing into his face,
and the dog's getting off on it.
Yeah, and
he wants some part of it too, because that's just weird.
Oh God, this movie was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Right?
Some real bizo. I stole that from a podcast. It was the Weekly Planet, which I love, and they're Australian. So imagine that in a charming Australian accent, which I can't really do. Anyway, so Dennis, how did you feel about this movie?
Like most romantic comedies, I'm just I watched it. It's all right. It's It really is just At some points, I was kind of bored with it. I'm gonna be honest. I was sitting there like, okay, this is kind of taking long. Like it's basically almost 2 hours long.
No, it is 2 hours long.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is.
It's like 2 hours and some odd minutes. I can't read that because I have failing vision. Or is it even there?
It's an hour and 59 minutes.
Oh, hour and 59 minutes. Oh,
just...
I was looking at the wrong place. I was looking at the stars.
Oh. But yeah, it's basically 2 hours. But it's just like, okay, it drags on certain points. Like half of it is like, you can cut out some of this stuff. Like, I get the whole point.
His black friend? You can cut out his entire black friend?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, because that's the only point of diversity in New York City in this movie.
It really
Again,
is.
Not to harp on diversity. I don't mean to do this. I really don't. But he's got a black friend. He's got the one non-white person in this movie.
Like his family's structure, structure.
Did not talk about the mother, his stepmom.
You can cut out all that stuff though.
You can cut it out.
You don't need the kids. But you don't need any of that.
Well, you do need the kids because that's how they got into the store.
Okay, you can have the kids for that, but you don't need the other tidbits. Like you don't need her mother or whoever that woman is. The older woman.
It's not her mother. Her mother's dead.
Right. So I guess
she's an employee.
Yeah. Okay. An employee. When she's playing the piano and they're singing a song, and then Greg Kinnear is just terrible at it. You don't need that. There's little things you can cut out to make the movie like shorter. That doesn't add to the story or anything like that.
Yeah, but it shows their relationship and how it's...
The lack of it?
He's not really in sync with her friends.
I thought it was like, he was a guy that liked his ego stroked.
He is a guy who liked his... Which, by the way, I think they failed the opportunity. They should have just swapped the couples. Yeah. Had been a real wife swap.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
But they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Which is weird.
Because that's what I thought they were hinting at the party scene.
Yeah.
Where they're both like, no, and they're pulling away from each other. It's like, no,
yeah, I think they were just being cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, his stepmom, ooh, man, that was real. She was on him. Like, it was like, hey.
She was basically touching his inner thigh, reaching for his,
but she also tried to kiss him on the mouth when she dropped off the kids.
Oh, yeah. Like,
and then swerve, she's with the nanny, who's a woman.
Yeah.
From somewhere.
Was it England?
Possibly.
Yeah, somewhere.
I mean, I'm not going to say she had an English face, because I don't really know what an English face is.
That's a statement.
What? What is an English face?
I don't know, but you saying it's like, ooh.
It could have been Kate Beckinsale's English.
Yeah.
That's a face I can stare at.
Yeah. It just kind of felt like a slight insult.
It's not on me. That's on your perception of
I guess
English.
So. You're right.
Anyway, so yeah, but the mother was like from somewhere in Eastern Europe, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was like, it was real weird because it's like, hey, she's hard up on Tom Hanks, and then she's like, I'm out, I'm with this woman, and I'm like leaving you, and I'm taking.
And I like how the father and him had a conversation about that, and they're laughing. Like, oh, she's a lesbian.
Well, no, they were laughing because his father runs through women like, I don't know, the Detroit line.
Yeah. And I thought it was like, oh, and she left with who? The nanny.
Well, no, because it was like he kept sleeping with his son's nannies and like marrying them or whatever. True, yeah. And then it's ironic. It's like, why is it ironic? Because my whole thing's like, why was it ironic? He keeps saying it's ironic, but that's not irony. And then he goes, oh, she left with the nanny. It's like, that is irony.
Yeah.
That's actual irony.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, that was, man, this is like a... Well, the thing I kind of liked about it was this, like, hey, there's this really weird dysfunctional family that he's from, which is like, you know, his grandfather has a real young wife that we never see her.
Super young daughter that's like, God, she's probably 8.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm his aunt. It's like, what?
Yeah, and then...
This man who's in his 30s? Yeah, you're my aunt.
Yeah, and then the, you know, his uncle is like 6.
Yeah. No, wasn't his brother?
No, his brother.
His brother. I'm 6 years old. That's my brother.
Yeah. So, and because the men in his family can't stop procreating.
Yeah, they really can't.
In their later years.
Just like banging out young chicks.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross. Especially
the granddad.
Oh yeah.
Had someone at least on the edge of going through the change. Is like, that's the second time the change has been brought up in this podcast. Why? Why do I keep doing? We just need to go. Look, okay, this is over. I'm gonna stop talking about this movie.
So what did you think about the movie?
You know, I mean, again, you're the one who has a bigger problem with rom-coms than I do.
Yeah.
I just think they're fine. I'm pretty sure I saw this movie once in the 90s on, like, HBO or something, though I didn't remember, like, any of it.
But rom-coms are just alright. Women hype them up. It's like, oh, they're so good. It's like, what is so good about that? What was so good about all that?
I don't know. What is so good about Deadpool?
Really? You really want to talk about the goodness of Deadpool?
To be fair, isn't it kind of a rom-com?
In a way, I guess. It has romance and comedy, but it also has super violence and comic book shit and just fourth wall breaking and
yeah.
This
one has corporate domination over the small business, and it's like, hey, there's also a love story.
Destroying America.
And it also says, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. You just move on, do something else with your life. That's basically what it just
it's
said.
It's your fault. Adapt. Pretty much.
Exactly. It's
adapt.
Like, oh yeah, we're a huge corporation. We're taking over all the small businesses. We're gonna put a Gap in next door, and next to that, we're gonna put an Old Navy.
If you don't like it, tough luck.
And if you don't like it,
adapt.
If you don't like it, buy your clothes somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't really care. It's not my problem. You want to get a job here? We can apply, but you're not gonna get it because we don't like you. Because you're the wrong color. What are you, brown? You have a weird name? Ahmed? You can't work at my bookstore.
You're new now. It's going to be Ralph. You're going to go by Ralph.
You can work in the back in like tech support. Because they just get real racist because it's the Upper East Side, whatever. Upper West Side? Upper East Side?
Upper
West Side.
West.
Yeah. The nice one. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't... Look, New York's expensive. It's hard to get there. Yeah, so I just... As a movie, it's fine.
Right.
It's fine. It's the 90s dream couple of the America's Sweetheart and the little boy from Big.
Wasn't Hugh Jackman in a film with her? Leopold and Me or something like that?
Stotch? Leopold and Stotch?
Yeah.
No. I don't know. Kate and Leopold?
Yeah, Kate and Leopold. That's
was
what
that
it
her, though?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't watch it. Is it on the list? I don't know.
It is on the list.
It's not on the list yet, but there are gaps. I still haven't decided which Katherine Heigl movie or Katherine Heigl movies to put on the list.
The one with Gerard Butler. I don't know which one.
Is there one with Gerard Butler?
Well, there has to be one with Gerard Butler.
No, because I know there's the one with Gerard Butler, but that's Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
Look, it doesn't matter. We're going to get the hell out of here. Hey, I'm Jerald. That's Dennis. If you want to email us... Oh, what's the name of the email? unopotatovids@gmail.com.
Okay.
If that's correct...
we'll get something from you.
I will. If not, try again by listening to the previous podcast episode, which is like the prequel to this. And I say it at the end of it. It's only 2 minutes long. You don't have to... Bye.
Bye, folks.
Just get out. Just go away.